Today we're taking a look at my personal top 10 iPhone and iPad strategy games. Please note this list is only focusing on games released on the App Store from 2019 to 2020, and I've only included paid games here. There is nothing free, I'm sorry. Number 10, we have Spaceland. Spaceland is a turn-based strategy in the spirit of XCOM. It provides a more modern, casual, and arcade tone. It has less cover mechanics, instead it has a bigger focus on action. Battles last around 10 to 15 minutes and involve a squad of space rangers made up of 7 fighters. All offer unique fighting styles too. There is also a story here which takes you to a mysterious planet in the golden age of science fiction. Look, the story's nothing special, but it's engaging for what it is. I'd say Spaceland is perfect for those who have played similar games, or for those who are just getting acquainted with the strategy genre. Spaceland is available to Apple Arcade subscribers on the App Store. It also supports controllers. Number 9 is Scythe Digital Edition. This is an official adaptation of the award-winning board game Scythe. For board game enthusiasts, you have to get this one. It's set in an alternate reality in 1920s Europe, and players will be involved in war conflicts. You can fight alone against the AI, face your friends in Hot Seat, or face opponents in the online mode. Cool. Players can customize the mat to help with strategy. You can be a hero of one of the 5 factions. You can choose a specialty for unique games, bring on new recruits, explore and conquer new territories, and so much more. Scythe Digital Edition costs $8.99 USD on the App Store. Number 8, we have Kingdom 2 Crowns. Okay, at first glance this doesn't look like a strategy game, but look a little closer and you'll discover it's actually a side-scrolling micro-strategy game. You play as a monarch and will defend your kingdom, recruit loyal subjects, build up your kingdom from practically nothing, and at night push back the monsters looking to steal your coins and life. The premise of the game is fantastic. It's not complicated to understand, yet it's still challenging and incredibly addicting. You can also play with a friend in local split screen, which is cool. But I only suggest you do this on an iPad. Playing on an iPhone with 2 people would not be comfortable. Kingdom 2 Crowns costs $9.99 USD. It is playable with controllers and keyboard on iPad. Number 7 is Radio Commander. Probably the most unique game on this list, Radio Commander has you using a radio to give commands to the soldiers on the battlefield. What I love about this game is how you can use your own voice to give commands. The game has voice recognition, but if you're not a fan of that, you don't have to use it either. It's also worth mentioning that there is over 200 dialogue blocks and over 600 story dialogues between units and the commander. Jump into 9 main campaign missions or go into the quick battle mode and enjoy 15 unit types. It's also a narrative-driven experience, so you will have to face the outcome of all of your decisions, some good and some bad. Radio Commander costs $4.99 USD. Number 6, we have the Bonfire 2 Uncharted Shores. The original Bonfire was one of the best strategy games on the App Store. Now the second one is upon us. The sequel expands on every aspect of the original and brings more depth and a little story, which the first one was missing. Right now the game is a little held back by the lack of a detailed tutorial at the start, and it has performance and bug issues. If you just ignore this, it's still a great game though. You will build, craft, gather resources, and try to survive at night from dangerous monsters and raiders. The Bonfire 2 Uncharted Shores costs $4.99 USD. Number 5 is Crying Suns. What you're getting here is a dark take on FTL with RTS elements. You follow a space fleet commander and will explore a fallen empire in a procedurally generated universe. Engage in tactical fights that involve battleships and their squadron fleets. For your first playthrough, I suggest you choose the normal mode. It is hard enough to be a fun challenge, and just easy enough to not be frustrating. The biggest selling point of Crying Suns is the dark and disturbing storyline, which hooks you in with more than 300 possible story events. Wow. The story is a good yet frightening take on what our future could look like after we create artificial intelligence. Crying Suns costs $8.99 USD. Number 4, we have 2112TD, or however you say it. While this game looks like classic StarCraft or Command & Conquer, it's actually an old school tower defense game. That said, it's not like your typical TD game. You see, you will be relying heavily on micromanaging dynamic action-based abilities. The further you play, the more abilities you must make use of, from airstrikes, charged attacks, fortification walls, and a tactical drone. Don't forget to also build and upgrade your defenses to hold back the enemy. Mistakes must be avoided here, or you'll fail quickly. It's an incredibly challenging game and frustrating when you keep losing, but the great feeling you get from winning will keep you playing, trust me. 2112TD, or however you say it, costs $1.99 USD. Number 3 is Rebel Cops. In this game, you are in the right side of the justice, but you're not really the police either. Rebel Cops is a tactical This Is the Police spin-off. It has you fighting a guerrilla war with turn-based tactical operations. I especially love how all the combat where you fight for ground is all set upon large locations that you can explore. This means in the area around you, you'll grab anything useful. You can search rooms, crack open safes and vaults, try to get into locked areas, and so forth. Don't forget, the key here is to be stealthy. Gunfights are fun, but come with a cost, hindering progress and your reputation. Rebel Cops costs $6.99 USD. Number 2, we have Bad North Jotunn Edition. Bad North combines RTS and tower defense gameplay and procedurally generated islands. The main goal of the game is defending islands from attackers. You will position and move your troops all over the area. All have different advantages and disadvantages for combat. As you play, you can unlock upgrades for your troops, develop them from ragtag militia into seasoned warriors. Bad North has more of an arcade tone and can get a little repetitive, so I like to play it in short bursts. If you're playing on an iPad, the game has full keyboard and controller support too. Bad North Jotunn Edition costs $4.99 USD. Number 1, we have Company of Heroes. This is without doubt the best RTS game on the App Store right now. Originally released in 2006, in 2020, Feral Interactive ported it to iPhone and iPad. Yes, it is quite old now, but it still holds up really well all these years later. It brings you an epic and gritty World War II campaign, which ranges from 25 to 35 hours in length depending on the difficulty level, and its gameplay is comprised of intense squad-based battles that progress from the D-Day landings through to the liberation of Normandy. Feral have done a fantastic job to make the UI easy to see and just accessible. Company of Heroes costs $13.99 USD. You can use a keyboard on iPad, but only to move the camera and for some shortcuts. What do you think of these strategy games? Impressed? Disappointed? Let me know in the comments. I try to select more premium experiences that can be found on PC, as strategy games can be translated really well for a touchscreen. They don't have to be a typical mobile experience, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. Anyway, my name's Stewie and, thanks for watching, as always.